benefits of connecting with nature?
Something like that.
Yeah, I read a post from David Wolf the other day about how when you go out into nature for 2 or 3 hours or something, all the different myriad of benefits. So ever since then I've been coming out here and just laying next to the river, washing my brain clean, you know.
Moving water is especially potent, actually. That. Nature in general is beautiful.
Yeah, we have been quite disconnected from nature. There's a lot of
more than any of you.
Huh?
I've been more disconnected than any of you being in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Well, even that room that I stay in, you know, it's a great room,
With you?
and you got the water, but if I spend too much time in there, I can really feel it. So I make sure I get out to the park, and I'm trying to spend more and more time outside, just doing nothing, just being.
Well, it's the same for me in my house in McLeod. I'm right there by the forest, but if I'm in the house, you just get all these strange sensations and thoughts and all these things. You have to step out. We were designed, we came from nature, we have to return to nature daily and think about the way that our society is structured. It's, you know, I think you mentioned this in one of the last videos, box. We're looking at a box, we're living in a box, we're driving around in a box, we're eating out of a box. No, we're infinite, expansive consciousness and beings. How can we live in a little box, whether in our mind or in our physical reality? And this is wide open. This is where we need to be in order to really connect with ourselves and nature and creation in general.
It does seem to have a very profound and positive effect on the nervous system, I've noticed. As opposed to like New York, where you're helping a lot of people.
Right now I'm sizzling. It's been a while.
Sizzling?
Sizzling. Nerves are reattaching, reconnecting to the umbilical cord. You know? It's like
Yeah. So you've been in New York for how long?
back and forth, but you know, I've been back and forth for a while, and when I'm away, it's short, and it's not really connecting so deep with nature. It's like more of the hotel thing. So it's really the same. It's kind of the same in a lot of ways.
So you haven't been out much.
It's been a while.
What about you?
As far as nature,
Yeah.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour or two.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
I have a saying, actually, basically, I mean, I like words and how they have deeper meanings than what we are taught in school. And for instance, we're 3 here, but I like to go out alone in nature. And when you break down the word alone, it's all one. And I really do feel like I can connect to spirit so much easier just by being out there by myself. I'm the only human that exists in my physical reality at that moment. I can think about other people. I can even tune in and feel other people. But when I just really focus on the now and where I am in my sense perception, I am the only being that exists at that moment. And in that state of oneness, the healing comes pretty effortlessly.
Fresh air isn't too bad either. That's one of the things I noticed about being in the motel room. I always have that fire going, so I like the warmth, I like the fire, what it creates. But I think the oxygen in that room, even though I've got the doors open, is still fairly stagnant.
Yeah.
And then I step out and get moving down the trail, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. And that happens like every time, so
Right.
it'd be interesting to really live outside all the time. Or create a scenario where you're much more connected, like walk out your door into nature instead of onto the concrete, into the car, drive to the nature.
Right.
When you work with people, they still heal, right? But it's accelerated when you
Yeah, if you
get them in nature.
can bring everybody out, like, you know, did you see Brother Sun Sister Moon? You have.
I don't know.
Story of St. Francis.
Oh, okay,
okay.
yeah.
When he brings them all out to the river and they're bathing and they're feeding them, bathing them, feeding them, and they're doing the real therapy. That's like that's like the best option. What I'm doing is not preferred, but taking people out of New York City is who can do that?
I mean, they have to have the affordability and they have to be serious.
The time, the money, and everything else. So
Yeah. But if
that's
you
why
can,
we bring the light to the darkness. We bring the candle into the dark, and it's worked for a long time. But it's definitely not the easiest. I'd prefer to be like in a healing center in nature like this and bring people, have them come.
it like double accelerates. You know.
Plus, you yourself get to be in it every day, so you're connected with your belief and your lifestyle. It's ideal.
Yeah, but the world is so far removed from nature. I mean, there's people out doing it, but for the most part, the masses are in the cities, and they're the ones that are calling us in to help out. You know, because you do the same thing, we all do the same thing, helping people get healthy.
And I've found with, also in alignment with being alone in nature, as we know as healers or people that facilitate healing or educators so people can heal themselves, we understand that a lot of times it's not originating, most of the time it's not originating in the physical body, the disease. It's actually originating in the mental or the emotional or maybe even the spiritual body. So by secluding oneself and being alone in nature and ingesting the raw foods and abstaining from overindulgence in sex or alcohol or drugs or anything else that's going to numb you, there's really no place to hide. Even if you're doing all the right things with the raw food and you're still watching the television incessantly or listening to music incessantly or using your energy to just hear yourself speak or always wanting to be around someone, you never can actually take that look inside yourself and find the root of your disease, which is usually mental or emotional or even spiritual, depending on your karma and things like that. So I found that when I'm working with my clients, I'm in the Mount Shasta area, so it's really easy to go out into the forest and spend some time alone. But I like to bring my clients to one of the parks or even just out from my house and then give them, 50 feet, 100 feet, say, I'm going to just step back and I want you to just be with yourself here and facilitate that as an example. And then I encourage them as they're going through the healing process to do that every single day with themselves. And I've seen that magic work time and time again.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
Yep. It's the avoiding of the pain that keeps us stuck in the loop. I know about that, man.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, we all do.
We all do. Had we not been able to experience this, we wouldn't be able to facilitate it for anyone else. And that's what makes a true catalyst for someone else's healing. You really have had to have experienced a healing in your own being before you can express that or teach that to somebody else.
Yeah, with serious empathy
And compassion
you know.
and understanding.
Because you know how much it sucks when you're going through it. But you knew the option wasn't acceptable, which was staying stuck and having a dis-ease in your life, which is precious. If you care about your life, you'll do what it takes. And sometimes, depending upon what you've been through, it might take quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Thank God for support networks and people that have been through it. They remember when they were going through it, they were thankful to have whatever, counselors or workbooks or family members or church members or whatever it is.
Life Regenerator videos.
That can also be things like that. Videos and spiritual teachers have helped me a lot.
Absolutely. Me too.
And it's like you deal with one stack and then you got a little break there and then there's another stack. You know? And no matter how far you've come, you're still kind of working on the next stack.
Absolutely.
And it's another level of stuff that's in the way of becoming aware of what and who you really are, which is, ease and freedom and peace in the moment. Your God self isn't resisting what's happening. Some other part of you is doing that,
Yeah.
that has a perception of it should be this certain way. But to really be able to surrender and let go at depth, that's something I need to remind myself of right now.
Absolutely. We
To
all
let
need
go.
reminders. It's a constant correction. Like Sonny said in a particular video, he's saying when the jet plane takes off, it's off course 99% of the time. And it's all about making that constant correction to get to the destination.
That's right.
And that's really where we're at now.
That's right. Anything else, Davis?
I'm just glad to be here. This is
Yeah.
great.
I'm glad to be here too, actually. I give thanks.
Amen. The brotherhood. Well, I think that's enough on the power of healing through nature. And we hope you enjoyed the video. And we appreciate your loving and kind feedback down below. And a thumbs up is always cool. And you can share this with your family and friends if you think that some of the things that were shared in here will help them to heal and recuperate and regenerate. So, thank you very much.